How close a personal relationship did you have develop with Vince McMahon over the years? Was it always, worker, employee, employer, or, could you go out for restaurants with him and have a laugh
I went.
afterwards?
I did go to restaurants with him. I ate dinner with him, and he acted like a normal person. And I said things to him, that normal people wouldn't say. Like, you know what I mean? I told him the inmates do run the asylum, and I told him shit like that, and he would just laugh. He knew what was going on. You know what I mean? He just accepted it. You know, is he a tyrant? No. Is he a good person? Yes. Is he got an ego? Yes. Is he narcissistic? Yes. Is he was he my friend? Yes. Did he like me? Yes. He one time said I could tell Steve Lombardi to go to the top of the building and get me that flag. He would bring me 2 flags down. That's what he said. He said shit like that. He knew he could ask me to do anything, like he did when I was Doink the Clown and I went to Calgary to wrestle Bret Hart in the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Isn't that hard to believe that the Brooklyn Brawler wrestled in Madison Square Garden for the WWF World Championship, and Brooklyn Brawler wrestled in Calgary against Bret Hart, the biggest star in Calgary, for the WWF World Championship? How could that be? How could that be? I wish the people are starting to wake up. They're starting to say you're an architect. They're starting to say shit like that instead of the word jobber, which never offended me one bit because everybody who has a job is a jobber.
Well, the thing is, I always say enhancement because a lot of people are into like Lanny Poffo or George South, whatever. I always say enhancement because they always find jobber.
I don't give a
pejorative.
shit about. I think anybody who has a job is a jobber. I think Rock is a jobber. He's a jobber for the movie theaters, and well, he has his own production company. He's a bad example, but everyone that has a job is a jobber, and their boss is a jobbie.
Mm-hmm.
A job just means that you have a job. It doesn't mean you lose. Jobber don't mean lose. A loser is a better word than jobber. But loser. But the funny part about it is, I wasn't losing. I was winning. I was making stars.
You were cashing checks.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money. It was about making stars. And I took pride in making talent realize what they had. It's like they had all the tools, but didn't know how to use them or when to use them. And all I did was direct traffic and tell them, do it now, do it this, do that, do this, do that. And then anything they did that was weak, don't do this. Don't do this. And that's what I did. That's why my longevity lasted. That's why it lasted.
If you want to make Vince McMahon laugh, what would you do or say? What was his sense of humor?
Tell him something that an employee would never tell him. Like one time we were at dinner and I picked up the check. And he says, you pick up that check. He goes, you're going to be finished. I says, you cannot stop me from being generous. One time I wrestled Red Rooster in Trump Towers in WrestleMania 3.
No, that would have been 5.
Five. And then renewed my angle with him because he wrestled Bobby Heenan, and I beat the shit out of him. I left him laying, then he roosted up, and then he threw my hat to the audience. Then I went to the back, and then Vince McMahon goes, I want Brooker Ball for an interview right away. Him and Bobby Heenan, I want to talk about what just happened, this and that. He goes, and then I go to the back, go to do an interview. He's producing it. He goes, where's your hat? I go, I lost it. He goes, no, you didn't. Terry Taylor threw it to the audience. I said, Vince, if there's one thing you can't do, you can't make me a stooge. I mean, I would tell him shit like that. You know what I mean? I was never scared. Like, we could go. I mean, oh my God, I can't get going and going and going. I could tell you 100 stories. I could be here for 4 hours. I know you got a schedule for just 2, but it's insane.
I know.
We're not going to get into the Barclays Center. We're not going to get into the Barclays Center. Put my picture on the wall. We're not going to get into. We're not going to get into more stuff with The Rock. We're not going to get into. I mean, it's insane.
We will save it. I promise you, we will save it for a part 3. I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask 2 more questions about Vince. Any strange habits that Vince had? Because, you know, we all hear as fans the occasional one like, you can't sneeze around him, or something about ketchup. I can't remember what that was. Like, any odd habits that Vince had that you picked up on over the years?
Don't smoke cigarettes. Nobody in his office building was allowed to smoke cigarettes. They would have to go outside. He hated cigarettes.
And did you ever meet Vince Sr.?
Yes.
Did you ever eat dinner with Vince Sr.?
Never ate dinner with Vince Sr., but he did say to me the minute he met me, he goes, "Do you speak Italian?" And I said, "No." And I said, "Shit, there's strike one." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, he wanted, because he figured I was Italian, that if I spoke Italian, then I was more marketable to him. Like, Salvatore Bellomo comes in, he's like talking Italian like crazy, this and that, but he had to look like the Mario Brothers. You know what I mean? He didn't have a good look. You know what I mean? I always took care of myself. I always tried to look the look, and I would have to say that. I would say I never ever feared saying anything to Vince. I would say blatant things to him that nobody else would say, and I've always done that with everybody. I would tell him the truth. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't sugarcoat nothing.